everybody. I'm Eric Elliott. It's nice to meet you. I am going to walk you through some AI driven development, see how that goes. So, I'm going to share my screen and we're just going to jump into it here, see if we can have some fun. All right, great. So, this is a new project. It's basically building out some AI solutions to help other people build apps with AI. So it should be fun. All right, so let me just walk you through this setup a little bit. This is Cursor. Cursor is an AI enabled IDE, right? And what we're going to do is try to build some software in it. But first, I want to show you some cool features of Cursor, right? So first of all, we have this chat over here, and we're chatting with AI. So I'm going to say, hello, how are you? And we should get an AI response back. And it does, it answers back. Ready to help you with any coding tasks or questions? All right. So it's asking what we want to work on. That's fine. But what I'm going to show you is this is kind of directed by some files. If we look in this cursor folder, you can see we've got a bunch of MDC files in here, and these define various ways we're going to work with the AI. So if we click on this product manager thing here, you'll see this is actually written in pseudoling, which is a programming language that I co-designed with GPT-4. And the cool thing about pseudoling is that AI language models understand it by default. You don't have to share the spec with them or anything like that. They just know it. So it's pretty neat. Anyway, these files kind of give the Cursor agent some guidelines and rules for how things are supposed to work. And so it kind of can teach them various things. So for example, if we click on the frameworks one here, you'll see there's an autodocs and an example here. If we click on the autodocs, it says Redux state management using autodocs framework for building and transpiling docs objects. So what this does is it handles the state management aspects of building your application. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty useful, right? So when you have rules like this set up, it kind of tells it how to do things really well. So in this case, we're teaching the AI how to build a good action object and what that means. So how I like my action objects to look is I want my slice name and then a / and then the name of the action in the action type. And that way I can see instantly when I'm looking at the action logs, I can see instantly what slice of the state management system dispatched this action or did this action come from, right? And then the action name tells me exactly which action. And then the payload is just what gets passed into that action object. So when I tell the AI how to do things like this, then it will always create actions with that type and that description, or most of the time when it's following the rules. AI is not perfect, and it's sometimes going to make mistakes, and it doesn't always follow the rules perfectly, but yeah, we'll try. All right. So once we've got these rules set up, then the AI agent has a better idea of how to do things. So one of the first things that I like to do when I'm creating these things is I'll create like a design system that tells the AI how to build components to match the look and feel of our application. So let me see if I can reveal this in the Finder and then open it up here. So if I click on design system.html and load it up, it will give us a preview of our design system. So I need to drag that window over so you can see it. Just gonna drag it to this screen. Forgive me, my computer is kind of overloaded streaming and doing this at the same time. All right, here we go. So now we've got our design system up. We can see what these various button states and things are going to look like when the AI uses this design system. So you can see there's kind of some cool hover effects. My computer's really laggy right now, so these aren't quite as snappy as they usually are. That's, like I said, that's just because the stream is happening right now and it's occupying most of my system's resources. I should really get like a separate computer to handle the streams. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so you can see this is kind of like this neon glassy kind of look. And when we click on these, it's pretty cool. So yeah. So pretty cool stuff here. You can send messages and stuff. Okay, so this has a bunch of guidelines. It tells it the AI what colors to use. It gives it like progress bar to use, and gives it lots of cool little examples, like our little loader and our content loader there. So it gives it lots of examples on how to do things, which is really going to help the AI. And then it kind of shows the AI like how are we going to connect these things together into an application and so on. So really cool. I like to always start with the design system, and then the AI has a better idea of what to do and where to go from there. So that's not entirely true. I don't actually always start with the design system. What I usually start with is like kind of a prototype of what I want the app to do. So if we click on the chat prototype here, you can see this is actually a prototype of how I want the app to work. And we can actually just kind of copy this and paste it over, and then we're going to say, this is the app we're building. Let's use this to kind of design the, we're going to start with the authentication flow so that we can create new user accounts and sign in and sign out, right? So that's a good place to start, because we can't really use the app if we're not signed in yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste this into the sidebar. We don't actually have to paste the whole thing in like that. Actually, you can just tag it. We can just tag this file. So if I click the little X here, oh, maybe it's not going to let me. Oh, because I probably because I already pasted. So this isn't actually a tagged file in there. But you can drag stuff into this chat window to tag it. You can also just use the @ symbol and then just start typing the file name. So if you do product manager, and then you can see product manager.mdc, product manager.sudo. So in our case, I started it with this product manager.sudo, but the MDC file is exactly the same thing. It's just in our MDC folders. And oh, hey, I forgot to say this. Apply intelligently, and then we're going to say use this to build specifications and user journey maps. All right, so those who don't know what user journey maps should check out. There's a book called User Story Mapping, which is kind of a classic book in software development industry. And it's just kind of outlines a methodology for product discovery, the figuring out, which is basically just figuring out what you want to build. So for those who've never built a whole app yourself before, actually coding the app is the easiest part. The hardest part is people think like AI is going to make you instantly able to build whatever app you want. Yeah, I mean, you can certainly just tell an AI to like build me an Instagram clone, right? And maybe you'll get there with vibe coding, right? But really, it's not going to be exactly what you want. It's going to use some random design, some random UI frameworks, random user journeys. Like it'll be very, very average. So if you want to step beyond average, what you need to do is you need to figure out what jobs does your user want to accomplish? Like what do they want from your application, and really figuring that out and breaking that down into interesting pieces is the hardest part of software engineering. All right, so now that we got that going, maybe I can just show you how to use this product manager thing. I'm just going to tag this one. And then I'm just going to say, please run this, or actually, let's see. Oh, fun. I don't know why that's, what? My MDC file is doubled up apparently. Oh, no, it's not. It's just completely messed up. All right, so I'm going to go over to our product manager.sudo version and see what's in here. Okay, that's better. All right. I'm actually going to move these CRUD operations up above this. All right. So you want to see the AI actually do something? All right, so what we're going to do is there we go. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this product manager.sudo into our cursor rules, our cursor folder here. So I'm going to say, instead of doing that, I'm going to say, please copy the product manager.sudo file to the .cursor. So what I'm asking it to do is basically to grab this thing. You know, actually, I'm just going to do this myself manually. So I'm just going to do this myself manually because some things we can just do faster and better. It's sometimes harder to come up with a prompt to get the AI to do it right than to just do it yourself. So in this case, I'm just going to do this myself if it loads the project. There we go. So I'm going to I'm going to copy our chat prototype product manager.sudo to cursor. Oops. To cursor. Oh, that didn't autocomplete. To dot cursor. There we go. We got it going now. And then we'll do product manager.mdc. And then we'll just pop open the product manager.mdc again. Oh, wait, did that work? Did it even do the thing? No, it didn't. All right, that didn't work. So I think what I'm just going to do is, yeah. I'm not sure why that didn't work, but it didn't. All right. Oops. So first, I'm just going to put this in here. This metadata header doesn't hurt anything. It's okay to have it in both places. This metadata header is the big difference between the MDC files, which kind of the metadata helps the AI find what's available and decide how to use it. So I'm just going to copy this like that right into our product manager.mdc file like this. And now hopefully it will do the right thing. Failed to save product manager.mdc. The content of the file is newer. Overwrite. I don't know why. That was weird. All right. My brain's obviously not working right. In my experience, when I'm confused about what's going on, it's usually my brain is not functioning properly. All right, so I'm going to create this. I'm going to open a new agent chat again. And let's have some fun. Let's do something more interesting with this. Hold on 1 second. I'm just going to pull up OBS so I can see the chat. There we go. Oh yeah, the audio's terrible. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I wonder if there's anything I can do to fix that. I don't know. I'll figure it out another time. Sorry, this is my first stream on YouTube, and I've got OBS running, and I've got my computer. The same computer I'm running OBS on is the one I'm doing the software engineering on. So sorry about that. All right. So let's have some fun. Let's run this. Let's actually run this product manager thing. And we're just going to focus on the user journeys so what we can do is here, we're going to tag this product manager.mdc. This is fine. And then we're going to focus on the user journeys for the Forge project aims to give a nice UX to this product manager prompt. So let's use the prompt. So we can actually just kind of create a new user journey. We can say, please infer project information or project metadata, right? And everything you need to get rolling. Our first journey will be user auth. We'll start with sign up. Sign up. All right. So, generate a journey for a new user sign up. And we're going to use passwordless. We're going to passwordless with passkeys that fall back on email magic link. All right. So we need to gather the user email for the first magic link auth, all right? Display name and a unique username. Yeah. I may actually save the username for later. So let's just do email and display name for now. All right, so let's hit enter, and now the AI starts to do its thing. I'm going to give it a little more room. So I'm going to close the file sidebar and scoot this over a little bit just so we have a little more space to see what's going on with the AI, because the AI is really the star of this show. So here we go. So as you can see, the AI has already started doing its thing. I'll help you create an authentication journey for the Forge project, starting with passwordless sign up, flow using passkeys with email link fallback. Let me first examine the product manager prompt to understand. So it reads the prompt, and then it looks at the project structure, create a comprehensive user journey for the new user sign-up process based on the product manager prompt. The Forge context, I'll create a structured journey. So now it's kind of working on that. Based on the product manager prompt and the Forge project context, I'll create a comprehensive user journey. So let's just look at the user journey signup.yaml. Oh, it's already starting to build software. A crazy thing. All right. So it's got this good. Yeah, journey research, requirements gathering, and yeah. So I'm going to turn on word wrap so you can see this better. View word wrap. All right. I'm going to say it's probably hallucinated a lot of these created at and updated at things. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Personas, new developer. Interesting, and like it's kind of automatically generating IDs here. That's funny. I think what I really wanted this to do was just kind of get started on these things. Technical founder, he needs to. Okay, so it's doing this startup founder, consultant. All right, that's kind of garbage. We don't care about that. Oh my God. So for a little reference, I'm out of credits on this thing, so it's automatically picking whatever agent or whatever model is cheapest and most available, and it's ignoring a lot of my constraints. So it's kind of funny. So I think what we need to do is get a little bit more. Okay, here we go. We got our user stories coming. That's pretty good. Functional requirements. This is what I really wanted to get to here. Given a user on the landing page, should see prominent sign up button. Given user clicks sign up, should be, yeah. So let's just revise this. Also, I wonder if this sign up flow that it came up with actually uses our styles, our system. We can take a look. So I'm just going to keep these files for now. Oh, wait, what else did it edit? PRD. Oh, it created the PRD already. Oh my goodness. All right. So, oh my goodness. All right. Pain points, solution description. Yeah. It's doing a lot of talking. Step 2. So it's got our steps when users. Let's see. Let's just look at the steps that it came up with. Step 1, landing page. So it's going to find a button on the landing page. Step 2, initialize sign up. Click get started. Okay, they're taken to an authentication page that presents 2 clear options: passkey authentication or email magic link. Yeah, that's not exactly what we wanted to do, but close enough. All right. So visual distinction between authentication methods. Yeah, passkey authentication attempt. The user first attempts to use passkey auth, which provides the best user experience. Email magic link fallback. If passkey fails or isn't supported, user can support their email magic link. So this is wrong. I really probably just want to delete all these files that it created because it didn't really do what we wanted it to do. I mean, some of it's right, but it just went a little too gung-ho here. Also, I'm not sure where it put these files. Oh, like, okay, in the project root. All right, so I'm just going to delete these. Delete. Let's delete that as well. Sorry, this is so laggy. My whole computer is really laggy. And that's the cause of the bad clicking in the audio as well. I apologize. I'm going to work out these technical details for my next stream, hopefully. All right. So let's just say, whoa, buddy. We should not be creating files yet. Instead, please share very brief, and I mean functional user requirements, brief understanding of the sign up task. Step, I should call it step. And ask for my approval before moving on. All right. So, new user sign up, functional requirements. Okay. Ignore the landing page. Assume the user is already on the sign-in page. Yep. Let's revise that. Revise. Assume the user is already on the sign up page. There we go. Sign up page. All right. So user is not going to see options at this stage. Oh, you know what? Maybe we could have Claude prototype this for us really fast instead. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Claude.ai. And I'm just going to say, hold on. Oh my, this is so laggy. I might just give up and end this stream and do another stream later when I've figured out the lag situation. I think I just need to get 2 computers, one for the streaming and one for the actual coding process. All right, here we go. So here we're just going to say, please build me a nice dark mode sign up form. Should have following fields: email, and probably just display name. Display name. And a ghost button underneath. Submit button or sign in button. Ghost button underneath. There we go. And if they click that ghost button, it'll sign them in with the passkey. So let's just hit go. And this should create an artifact that we can just use as a screenshot to help the AI and the other thing. So it's just going to crank out a little sign-in form real fast for us. We're not going to use this code. We're just going to use this as a mock-up to give the AI an idea of what we're building here. All right. There we go. Email address, display name, sign up. Yep. This is pretty much what we wanted. So I'm just going to grab a screenshot of this. So notice I'm not trying to use the code from this because it's not going to be great code and it's not using our design system, and there's like a bunch of other issues we would encounter with it. So instead, I'm going to, let's see, I think I have this on my desktop now. Go away, Copilot. I don't know why that's there. All right, so we're just going to drag this. We're going to drag this into, let's see, what, sign up. Where did that come from? All right. Wait, did I already have a mock-up? Oh, I asked it to mock up. I see. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to move this. I'm just going to delete that. Move to trash. And I'm just going to drag and drop this mock-up here. And let's rename it. Rename to sign up form.png. And then I'm going to tell it, we're going to tell it to use this, right? This is what the form should include. There we go. Now, this is going to start to get really interesting as soon as it has the steps, because what we're going to do. Okay. Functional requirements, brief, sign up form, user. All right, but it's not following the program. So we're going to tag that program again. We're going to tag product manager.mdc. Actually, we're going to tag maybe just, oh, I don't have the separate requirements program in here. So I'm just going to do product manager.mdc, generate requirements. Nope, it's not following the instructions. Form validation. Yeah, it's not following the instructions at all, which is a little bit unfortunate. So this is probably falling back on a really weak model because I've got it on auto. I've used up all my credits, so it's probably falling back on a really bad model. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to just go into the product manager and I'm going to extract the requirements part. Functional requirement, or just remind it. There, you're absolutely right. Yeah, no kidding. All right. So now we've got these functional requirements. Yes, this is looking much better. Let's look through these first. Make sure that it's doing the right thing before we start to do, because once we get going, I'm about to put this thing on autopilot and it's going to build the software for us. And when I say build, it's going to go through the test-driven development process, and yeah. So I need to make sure that it's doing the right thing. So given the user lands on the sign up page, should display a clean form with create account and join us to get started. I don't care about the subtitles. So actually, I'm just going to say, please put these in probably our app source pages, and then we'll do a sign in page. Yeah. Oh, actually, is this this is the public pages folder. Interesting. Okay. So we don't want to put it in there. Well, we'll do it in features / pages. All right. Please put these in app source. I'm going to put it in. Let's put it in features. Yeah. Or maybe just, yeah, features, pages, sign up. readme.md. So now it's going to create the README. Okay. Now if we click on that, now that's good. All right, so now I'm just going to directly edit this, and then we'll use this as the input when we go and start the autopilot thing, right? So given a user lands on the sign up page, should display a clean form with create account title and join us. So I'm going to change this. I do like the create account title. Well, maybe I'll just call it sign up. Sign up. We're not going to have a subtitle. Oh, actually, I do kind of like this sign up. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Given a user lands on a sign up page, should present two input fields, email address and display name with appropriate placeholder text. So yeah, that's fine. These could really be simplified to a couple of requirements, right? Okay, I'm just gonna say revise. Given a user wants to sign up, should allow the user to enter their email address so that so they can authenticate and I don't know and receive product updates. And then so basically we're going to simplify to just the bare minimum, right? Simplify bare minimum. Don't describe every detail of the form. Focus on functional requirements to support the user journey. So don't make all the text functional requirements and specific UI, right? All the text and specific UI. All right, so this is actually something that we could encode in the MDC file so that it remembers to do that when it's building the user requirements. And what I'd want to do is break that out into a separate requirements.mdc. And I think maybe it would help if we put these in rules folder. So I'm going to create a new folder called rules. I'm just going to put all these MDC files like commit, log, please, product manager, prototype, rules, stack, TDD. I'm just going to put all those in the rules folder. Because I think it might automatically apply based on the .cursor/rules thing. And it might look in that location for these things. All right, so in the product manager, we can find the functional requirement here. And we can say, yeah, let's make a requirements file, requirements.mdc. So description, when use this when writing functional requirements for a user story. We don't need globs here, always apply false. There we go. Act as a senior product manager to write functional requirements. Yep. And what we're going to do is we're going to say keep the minimal focus on functional requirements to support the user journey. And I'm going to add a constraints section. Focus on functional requirements to support the user journey. Avoid describing specific UI elements or interactions. Instead, focus on the job the user wants to accomplish and the benefits we expect the user to achieve. All right, so that's good. So now, instead of doing all this, I can probably just say revise, use, and then I'm just going to drag this in here and hit go. All right. As a new user, I want to create an account to access Forge project management features so that I can start building better products with structured guidance. That's better. Better. Given a user wants to create an account, should collect their email address for authentication. Given a user wants to create an account, should collect their display name for personalization. Given the user provides their email, should validate the email format to ensure deliverability. That's probably good. Yeah, given a user provides their display name, should validate the name length to ensure it's appropriate. And given a user submits valid account information, should initiate the account creation process. Um, given a user. So we don't need all of those because we're going to focus on just the UI for now. So submits valid account. So from here, we're going to break these into two different flows, right? So up here, we're going to have UX requirements. I like this. Functional requirements. UI requirements. And then down here, we'll do, there we go. All right. So for the UI, all we need is that. User submits a valid account information, should initiate the account creation process. Invalid information should prevent account creation and guide them to correct errors. That's good, but kind of redundant. Well, this could be used on the service side. So I like that. And let's see, return error message. That's good. Given user successfully submits, send them to a secure verification link. No. Well, yes, but it should email a secure, and it should be an authentication. Should send them a secure authentication link. Clicks the authentication link. Should complete their account setup and grant access. So no. What we're going to do is we're going to should offer or should guide the user to create a passkey, not a password, a passkey. We're doing passwordless authentication because passwords are obsolete. They're not secure, and they haven't been secure for ages, like years and years. So we want to, when we're creating new applications, we want to create completely passwordless flows, leaning on cryptographic security. And one way to do that is a protocol called passkeys. So we're going to use passkey authentication for this. Given a user already has an account, should provide them with an alternative authentication method. This is no. This would be up here. Given the user already has an account, should provide a link to sign in with their passkey. All right. So now we've got these basic requirements. We should probably do the state management requirements as well. But we'll get to that later. Actually, we'll do it here. Requirements. There we go. We're going to have a user authentication. User authentication reducer using Autodocs. All right, so this is okay. So we're going to say, please use autodocs.mdc and the requirements here to infer functional requirements for the ducks action creators. Let's just say for the ducks object. All right. User authentication ducks functional requirements. All right. We don't need we can just replace that. There we go. So given a user starts the sign up process, should initialize the authentication state. How about, yeah, authentication state as signed out? Yeah. So we're going to use we're going to pull in probably from our product manager thing here. We've got a user object here somewhere. User journey, story map, project. Oh, maybe we don't have a user object defined. Okay, that's fine. We'll create one. So I'm going to just go back into that requirements readme, and we're going to say sudo lang. We're just going to say ID, email, display name. We're going to say is signed in. We don't need an error there. We'll call this user. And then maybe we'll need to keep track of the authentication flow. We'll have, let's see, state. We could do an auth state. Yeah. So pending verified is silly. All right. Auth state. Well, we don't actually, this might not work because we don't, in the sign up process, they don't really have an ID yet, a user ID yet. But they could, because we could generate it on the client side. So they could. ID, email, display name is signed in. Yeah. Pending, authenticated, or error. And then we could have an error state here. Errors could be an array of strings. That could be fine. All right. Let's do that. So our state might look like this. Revise, match with, yeah, do we have the user authentication state? I'll figure that out later. Match with the user type. Ducks. All right. Initialize the user with auth state as pending, signed in as false. Yep. Yeah. email display name, auth state pending, user submits invalid form data, set errors with validation messages, keep auth state as pending. Yep. User successfully submits their information, should send authentication leap and keep auth state as pending. Yes, but the ducks object doesn't do that, so we'll just delete that. Given user clicks authentication link, should verify the link and set the auth state to authenticated. So given, I should say, given a user successfully authenticates, should set auth state to authenticated. And sign them in. All right, let's just say should sign them in. So this should be auth state authenticated is signed in true. Actually, I think we don't need is signed in if we have auth state, because it's going to be pending authenticated. Actually, it could be. Oh, and we may not need error. We can just use errors. We could set this. We could call this auth errors, like that. Yeah, auth state, auth errors. That's cool. Pending authenticated. Let's do anonymous as well, because maybe they want to like get a free taste before they check out, before they sign up with the app. We'll let them have an anonymous account where they can't save any of their data or anything. It'll just work. All right. I don't hear the clicking anymore on the audio, so hopefully it's much better for you guys as well. All right. Okay. So you can see like a lot of this work isn't actually coding. It's deciding what we want to build and how we want it to work. And so far, AI is good at like getting us kind of on the right track and brainstorming a little bit, but also really good at distracting us with a bunch of nonsense garbage if you let it. So yeah, given a user completes passkey creation, should set, okay, successfully authenticates, should sign them in. If they complete passkey creation, should set is signed into true, and yeah, we don't need is signed in anymore because we've got auth state, anonymous, pending, authenticated. That's fine. Okay. So auth state authenticated. There we go. User completes passkey creation. So the passkey creation is going to be a different flow. And also we'll probably need a passkeys array. Yeah. But it can infer this bit, so we don't need that there. All right. Passkey creation, set is signed to true. So they're going to be signed in before they do the passkey creation. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. So they are going to be authenticated already before they do the passkey, before they set up the passkey. So this should add the passkey to their account, maybe. link the passkey to the user's account. Given a user encounters an error during authentication, should set the auth state to error and populate the errors array. And yeah, that's good. Given a user wants to reset the form, should clear the errors array and reset the user data. Yeah, this is about the form, and we don't need a form reset. I think that's silly. Given a user wants to switch to sign in, should reset the user state and prepare for existing user flow. Yeah, I think that's probably a good plan to let them switch to sign in. So we should probably have a reset action, right? Should reset user state. All right. Let's make some software. I'm going to start with the ducks and then go back to the UI after we do that. So let's start with the ducks object. So the user authentication ducks requirements. So I'm just going to separate this into its own file, just so the AI doesn't go crazy and continue working when I'm done with the thing, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to make a new file, and we'll call this user authentication ducks requirements.md. All right. User starts the sign up process, should initialize. Okay. User submits a valid email and display name, should set the user email and display name, keep the auth status pending. Given the user submits invalid form data, should set errors. Yeah, except the validation step doesn't happen here. So how about instead of given a user submits the invalid form data, we'll say given the service responds with an error, should set errors array with messages and keep the auth status pending. And then given a user successfully authenticated, should sign them in. All right. Given a user corrects the errors, right? Or actually, we should probably just say should send them in, should clear any errors. And then should sign them in. There we go. Now we've got a couple of different functional requirements to cover that. Okay, so thinking in functional requirements is probably the most valuable software engineering skill you're going to develop, because this is, we're going to use the TDD process here. And this is kind of the first step in doing that well, because you need good descriptions for your tests. And the descriptions, when you use TDD, these descriptions become the living functional requirement documentation for your app. And this is really important, because when you're generating code with AI, it often will make mistakes. It can and does make some pretty serious mistakes once in a while. And having clear documentation of the functional requirements helps keep the AI on track. So it's important to get this right. So now that we've got this, we can use it to generate tests. And those tests, we're going to use the TDD process to generate tests and get those going. But first, we need to install right way because I don't think our testing framework is installed yet. We can check in our package.json, but I don't think I've set any of that up yet. I just started building this app during this live stream, so nothing is really done except like if we run the app right now, if we do npm run dev and then view it in the browser, missing script dev. Oh, am I not in the right folder? I'm not. cd app clear npm run dev. Okay, so now if we load this in the browser, it's just going to be the default Next.js browser environment here. So I'm gonna click on this, pop it up. Oh, maybe that doesn't pop it up. It didn't. So I will pop it up here. And I'll just show you that's what it looks like. This is just the Next.js app boilerplate. Next.js is the framework that we're using here. And this is just their little boilerplate landing page for when you haven't done anything to your app yet. So we're going to replace that eventually, but not yet. Right now, we're going to install Rightway. So we're going to do npm install Rightway. And hopefully this will give us the latest version of Rightway, which is 8.1 or something. I don't remember. Okay. There we go. So now if we go in our app folder and we look at our package.json, we're going to update the scripts. npm dev build start lint. We're going to add a test script. And our test script is going to be node. And we're going to run we don't have it yet, so I think I need source index test.js. index.test.js. And we're going to do, we're going to ask use search and create a script. I hate this lag. Test script. So hopefully it'll read the Rightway docs and do this right. Created a new file instead of using this one. That's all right. All right, let's see. All right, ESLint. Okay, source Rightway test.js. That's fine, but I'm going to rename that to index test.js. I'm going to delete this one and rename that one. What? Delete. Move to trash. and then rename this to index-test.js. Sorry for the lag. All right, rename. There we go. And then package.json. I just need to make sure that's using index-test.js. Oops. All right, now let's run this, see what happens. Oh no. Nope, it's not. The AI is confused. What we can do is we can just go in here. Directly look at the output, see what's going on. ESM module. Oh, we shouldn't. Nope. Stop. Let's pop this open. Where is it? What happened? There it is. All right. Oh, there's no it. Maybe I should have looked at. It's hallucinating. So describe. Whoa. What just happened? Okay. Describe. No. All we need is the assert. And we don't need all this gunk. Or that console log. And that. All right, let's pull this back. And I should have just done this myself. Some of these things, a lot of times you're going to see, oh, I could have done that way faster, right? But I try to do everything with the AI first because sometimes the AI will just start running. And once we get into the TDD loop, the AI could just like start running down the to-do list. And then it's like putting your whole job on an autopilot because it just like nails it every time and does a great job. So I like to give the AI a chance to speed me up. So this should be true, expected, true, save. All right, that's better. Now let's try. Okay, so it's still having issues. Maybe it's the version of, yeah, it's not using the correct version of Rightway for some reason. So let's just check to see why that could be. Actually, I've been streaming long enough. I need to shut this down. And yeah. And this audio sucks because technical difficulties. So I think what I'm going to do is bring this stream to an end and try to sort out my technical issues and try again in another date. But Yeah. Thanks for joining, and see you later.